Guys, I'm so excited. I'm very happy, like happier than hap. Anyway, I'm happy because of this Jacob Zuma thing. This is literally history in the making. If you've never heard of history, crazy history, I'm legit opening my eyes this wide because I'm just like, Haibo. Hey, Zuma's God is really a God because what? Anyway, let me explain the story, right? So today, imagine, Jacob Zuma, we all know he was obviously our superhero president, He was leading us and, it was very nice, was chilling and things were going good. Although we do know that before he was president, he was a successor from old Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki had to take a seat, he had to sit in the corner and, be and chill. He chilled simply because he felt or assumed the fact that because of how he has built them, the ANC, how they have explained and how they have built it to become. It was, a party that was supposed to be full of morality, they needed to be hypersensitive, very honest, very courageous, all the types of values that you can think of. Ubuntu, basically, selflessness, And he possibly felt like, okay, because my party is saying I'm not doing enough, maybe someone else is going to come after me, is going to do the best thing. But we do know that a month ago, he went to UNISA where he was talking about the economy, about the political space, and he obviously answered questions of students and people that have a lot of questions that had a lot to do not just with the economy but also with the political landscape of South Africa. And in that conversation, we do remember that he definitely blatantly said, you know what? The person that came after me, guys, literally destroyed everything because when I was there, nothing was a problem. We were actually improving. All of a sudden, things go downhill like they never were up there. And you know who it is, I was just like, this guy, it's kind of interesting. Now, I must say, I'm not saying that because Jacob Zuma won, he did not do all these things that apparently being said he has done. I mean, obviously, if someone is said to go to court, clearly there was a judgment that said, hey, we think you're wrong. And you might have to do that, in order for you to be fine. Anyway, so some people obviously said that he obviously can't rule. You are not going to rule Wena Zuma because there are certain rules that you're supposed to follow, right? So now Uzuma is like, you know what? I am going to go to the Electoral Court. There is a court that is above the IEC. I will go to court, and you know what I'm going to do? I am going to tell them, this is what is going on in my life. This is what I think. I think I deserve to be put back into this thing simply because all these people are saying I cannot participate simply because I have a track record of being arrested. Obviously, that was the greatest of them all, right? So now he's like, I'm a very, very, very good superhero. I'm seeking help, obviously, from wise wizards. And you know what? Obviously, he definitely got the wise wizards, guys. They waved their magic wands with the Limpofu, and yes, Zuma can now lead again. It's honestly like he can lead again. Okay, I'm not actually excited at the fact that he can lead again. I'm excited at the fact that law is fascinating. Law is so psychological, guys. Law is not about public opinion, Buffett. Law is about that time that you are given in front of the judges, in front of the people that are ready to make a decision about your life and plead your life like you've never done before. In this particular thing that is currently going on now, I'm realizing the fact that, in actual fact, I don't know how to say it in a manner that makes every single person understand that particular time when someone says there is a trial, dude, better make sure you're ready for that trial. When someone says, when you happen to be in a position where you have done something and you need to go to court, dude, prepare for that thing. Because honestly, guys, people will listen to what you say. People will listen to how you say it. People will listen to the reasoning behind whatever you're saying, and they can crash every single thing that everyone has ever said in this particular world and take your word for it and give you whatever you want. This is like slightly Jesus vibes. It's slightly God vibes. When you go to God, you're like, God, please just bless my family. I know I sinned yesterday and I'm sorry, but like today we're talking about now. I need your help. That's exactly what it is. When you go to court and a person who is a judge is literally about to make a decision about your life, guys, make sure you prepare, number one. Number two, make sure you're as sincere as possible. Make sure your statements make sense, and make sure you are led and represented in a very good way. Law is fascinating. Very fascinating. Not to study it, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just excited because like it's like winning a big game, guys. He is literally becoming a superhero leader once again. That's literally how I see it. But anyway, let me just go back to what basically happened, right? So there is the Electoral Court ruling. What basically happened there is obviously the Electoral Court is like a council of wise elders, right? Who obviously are set to make big decisions about rules basically in our country. What this means is there's an IEC which is lower than the Electoral Court. If you're not happy, a quick example is with a president and a deputy president. If you have a problem with the deputy president, then you go to the president for him to reprimand the deputy president, basically. So IEC is the deputy president. Electoral Court is the president. They are the ones that take the final decision. Although I do think that the Electoral Court may not be above the Constitutional Court. I'm not so sure. I'm going to look for that, and I really don't see why anyone would want to increase these processes, because I do think they've been going to courts and using different measures for different things. Guys, all I'm going to say is ANC is in trouble. Like, they are in true. I'm so sorry, I'm just excited. I like Zuma, but like I don't like his corruption. I like his leadership, but like, well, the robust part of it, but not any other thing. But yeah, the robust part, it's like, yes, Zuma man. God. Anyway, so these people in the Electoral Court, right? They obviously looked at the rules, right? And the rules that they were basically saying Zuma is not allowed to lead, right? And they looked, guys, on the paper and they're like, no, these rules are not fair. They themselves said, like wizards, adjusting a spell, they changed the rules and said, no, these rules are unfair. Zuma, we can see these rules are unfair. Zuma, you can lead again. This is what church people and my pastor preaches to us by saying, hey guys, there is a God that can allow you to break protocols. Rules can be changed in your favor. If I did not believe my pastor, I am going to believe Zuma and the God that he serves, because I don't know the God that he serves. He does, have quite a number of but this is literally the most robust, outstanding, overwhelming, crazy, weird, scary, unbelievable things in the political space of South Africa that I personally had to witness and actually understand. Maybe there are others that happened a while back when I was still in primary. I'm not going to mention that because this is very subjective to me. This is a wow. When everyone thought he is not going to make it, he actually comes out and is a victor, and I'm very happy. And obviously, I would have definitely been like, Zuma is wrong. We must judge him for the things that he did. What did he think he was doing if he goes to the Electoral Court because he knows he did wrong and went to the court, That is obviously the kind of video I would have done had I not had things gone differently. But it's so weird how people change and swerve and sway around certain things simply because of what comes out, Oh, I'm so proud. I'm so proud, man. Point is, Shakoteka. Shakoteka means it's very possible. It's very possible. The greatest, most outrageous thought in your head, even when people are laughing at you. Because honestly, at this point, I think I would be also part of the people that would be laughing at Zuma when he says, I'm going to the Electoral Court. I'd be like, dude, please don't waste our time. Like, you've been, dude. Just go go and retire and die peacefully and stop fighting. That's exactly what I would have done. And he would not have done that if I was actually quite a huge part of his life in the decision-making. Point is, don't listen to everyone. Do what you want to do. Believe in what you want to do. Whether you win or you lose, you don't know until you actually do it. And at this point, Zuma did not know until he actually won. Yes. So anyway, we'll now talk about the eligibility, obviously, to the elections, which we all know. So now the Electoral Court is saying to Zuma, whether you can lead again, right? So this is basically, if you were to ask me, it's actually like inviting him to join, a big event or to be part of the table that he was once discredited from, this big table of elections he can partake in after people said he can't, and in this game, it is a game where people just choose who they want to be in charge. And MK has chosen Zuma, and the ANC doesn't want Zuma to be there, but obviously we do know Zuma is thrilled. I know he is, because he obviously got to join this exciting game called elections, and I'm definitely sure he's actually quite eager. He's very eager to see what is going to happen, and obviously, like a hero, guys, like a hero, he must complete his quest, and we are so excited to see what is about to happen to Zuma. Really, I'm not gonna lie. So, quick background of why Zuma was disqualified is actually because before all of the excitement, or before everything that I'm explaining to you, there was actually a lot of trouble, and I probably would have spoken a lot about the trouble before this verdict. So what happened is Zuma, he did something that people didn't like. He did something that he was told actually to go to the commission. He was on the commission. He did not go, and he was forced, basically, like he had a subpoena, kind of a court order that says you have to, you don't have a choice, and he still did not agree to that. And obviously that then made him have to go to jail simply because he was in contempt of court. What basically happened here was he even went to the Constitutional Court, which is the highest court in the land of South Africa, and they too, a panel of I don't know how many judges, 20, 32, something there, but a lot of judges, let's just put it. A lot of judges with a lot of experience sat there and said, you are not worthy. Based on our rules, you are supposed to be in jail, and please go to jail, whether you're president or not. At that particular time, it was the first time in South Africa that we actually got to see a president go to jail. Guys, go and serve in jail. That was the craziest history making, which makes it even more exciting now, because how we literally sat and watched cars and police threatening to go and take him from his home, and he had to be literally moved from his home with such a very, very, very long line of cars, just to go to prison. We were completely confused. It was crazy. We felt like the law is crazy. We didn't even think such a thing would happen. We didn't even think he was going to live through that. We did not even think, genuinely, that it would be like this. I'm trying to think about where the EFF actually is now. They also are going to definitely be catching fire. Fire. Yo, there's a lot of problems here. Like, this is crazy. My point is, there was a crazy history breaker about bad things. And please, guys, let's celebrate the good, because the same person who was in the pit is now the premier of Egypt. Hey, Lord, the person that had a dream, the person that just innocently woke up and was called Joseph. He started from the pit and ended in the premier's house there by Egypt, which is exactly how I see Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma was told by many people, even Julius Malema, he was told to take himself to, like, he was like, every single person even went to the commission. But at the same time, if you don't, and they say they found you in contempt of court, dude, just go to jail, just hand yourself over. And all these people are saying the exact same things, and all of them were just shunning down on him. It's so weird, because I'm so confused that, did he think this was going to happen? But at the same time, I'm not confused, because I do know that most of us, according to, how things go with God, most of us just believe it, but we don't know for sure until we try it. All I'm saying in this video again is try it. You won't know whether it succeeds or not unless you try it. Anyway, those big people obviously didn't like it, and it's like breaking a rule, guys. He broke a rule. Obviously, at school, you will get detention. For him, in politics, it was him going to jail. So, if I am to say, honestly, these big people were like, You cannot lead anymore because when Zuma, you broke the rules. I really do think they were waiting to say, you are a bad person, a very bad person, a very bad leader, and you are not worthy of the grace that is available to others. And to be honest with you, I do think when he went to jail, they felt and thought very hardly. I'm definitely sure and confident of the fact that they definitely were sure and confident of the fact that they were done with Zuma. They were done with him. They had literally nullified him. There was nothing more to him. No one should have even looked at him because he's nothing according to their eyes. This is the ANC leadership that I'm talking about. That's honestly how I think and how I feel, and that is how I have seen everything happening. I have honestly seen, who is that guy, man? Secretary General Balula, going around like a headless chicken, going to each and every, he's going to commissions, he's going to high courts. Here it is in Mpumalanga, then it's in Bloemfontein, it is in Durban, and they're trying by all means to make sure these people just don't succeed with the MK thing. And honestly, initially, I did not buy into it. I'm not saying I still buy into it now. I really, no, I still don't buy into it. Sorry, but I don't. But honestly, at that particular time, I was like, maybe they have something. But to be honest, in hindsight, I personally do not want to be led by the ANC. I don't want to be led by people who are going to try by all means to make sure someone who may possibly, because at this current point, I'm realizing the fact that we were fed so much information that was wrong. It was possibly propaganda. I really also do think, because let's be honest, we do know and have heard of a number of people who said the exact same thing every single day, that the news love Ramaphosa, but they don't love Jacob Zuma. And everything that has to do with Jacob Zuma is not necessarily going to be good publicity, obviously, but everything else that has to do with Ramaphosa must look nice. Even Pala Pala must look like a flower, like a beautiful, Dolce & Gabbana handbag that looks nice because, it's very, and they even come to the party and give reasons as to why this is not a problem, and some of them don't even hear themselves. And that's why I'm saying, at this current point, because of what happens and what has happened, I do think we have been lied to in certain ways. But like I said, I like Jacob Zuma's robust manner of leading. And I can't wait to show you the video that I saw when he came from I think it's the second... After that Durban court appearance, it was so great. It was so crazy. You know what? I'm so... Oh, guys, I'm so happy. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, they obviously said rule breaking is actually very serious. I do know, but he said it's important that people who make rules should follow them too. That says when you are pardoned or whatever, it is okay, then follow it. If the ANC is finding a problem in following this rule because it does not stand in their favor, or it's not doing what they want to do or what they expected to do, what they expected to see, there's a problem, because they are going to want to change the rules, not just the rules, they want to change the procedures because they know they have the upper hand. They may not have full control, but they have the upper hand, which is more reason for us to not vote the ANC, honestly, to be honest. But anyway, so this is quite obvious, and we all saw, guys, that they really honestly tried with everything in them to stop Zuma from leading again, because they kept on telling him about the bad things he's done and how he's not much of a good leader, So obviously in the end, it's honestly like Zuma got a second chance, like a redemption kind of chance to lead, obviously, in this whole big game that I'm talking about, which is the elections. He's at the table, guys, at the table. And even though he obviously had some trouble before, which is true, and we've seen that, and I'm not saying he didn't do anything, it's honestly feeling like it is a story that is so thrilling. It has a thrilling twist that I personally would not have thought things would go the way they did now. And yes, I'm excited, but it's highly possible that tomorrow I make another video about the same person and say, in actual fact, no, do a different thing. It's just because I'm a person. Every single person who reports around about these people are people. We are all people. We see things differently. We have facts that are facts, but we can all take different points out of whatever facts that we have, right? basically, on this legal battle, Advocate Dalimpofu, he is the one that was representing Umkhonto Wesizwe, right, which is the new party. And he was challenging the IEC authority, guys. He was literally so robust in challenging the IEC authority. And in that particular challenging, he raised concerns, quite interesting concerns about how this commission is actually quite biased within the decision making, you know. It's even hard for you to see or to know that you know that these people have been given power to make decisions, and it looks like they are also allowing some form of biasness from a political landscape or point of view. Not even political, like one judge, they are judging Zuma for his past mistakes and faults, you know. They want to be like the Pharisees, and not Jesus. Anyway, Dalimpofu was quite a good, he argued very well, and he argued obviously against the denial, right, of political rights, which is obviously true. Every single person has the right, guys, that is a political right. Even, I'm sorry. Number one, it was a denial of a political right. I mean, really, political right, you know. He also basically highlighted the importance of these people being very impartial. So impartiality for him was a great thing. A fair deliberation for him was the greatest thing. He even stressed the fact that, no, guys, the broader implications for your democratic principles and the right to participate in politics is supposed to be given to a person. Because you know about Zuma and you possibly may have certain problems about him, does not mean he is not supposed to qualify for certain things that he already has been given the ability and authority to, simply because it's just a general right? Obviously, at that particular point, we understood what the IEC was saying, which was quite interesting. And at the same time, like I'm saying, if you have the right person that is going to speak according to the way you see things, even if maybe it's them seeing things, not Zuma, it helps because it takes you out of the issues. Anyway, the key argument, guys, was just basically against the executive directors, right? Whereby it included Zuma's release, you know, on parole. So basically, the key arguments generally is what we obviously know and have mentioned. Ungubagay Tobe was basically saying, I am arguing that you are saying there's an executive decision, right? And this decision is apparently said that Uzuma has been released on parole. And hey, he does not utter court-imposed sentences, right? Rendering him ineligible for the public office. Basically, what they're saying is he cannot, because of that particular parole that he received. However, Umpofu emphasized, which is actually quite good, it was so good, guys. He emphasized the significance of how it is important for politics to be upheld in the right manner, right? And he obviously accused the IEC of excluding candidates without fair consideration. That also goes back to the fair right to political. It's a political right. Every single person has the right to like whichever political party they have, which then had implications, obviously. So now what had to be done in that current state is we now had to understand what the implications of this whole court case was. And honestly, that comes to the ruling. The ruling, guys, was so sweet, nice and beautiful. The ruling set a very good precedent, honestly, for the interpretation and the implementation of this constitutional provisions, guys, simply because we needed the importance. We needed to see it in a different way. We needed to understand it in a different way. We needed someone else to show us in a different way if this is actually a possibility. And it was very nice to see the explanation and the interpretation of the law in quite a very weird and laughable way. I think I laughed quite a number of times watching Dalimpofu, but I actually understand why now. And obviously it's also because I didn't give him time to understand him as a person generally before I understand him in his profession. So it does make sense for him to make sure that his client is not deprived of constitutional rights or the provisions, obviously, that are regarding the eligibility of any candidate that is supposed to, come and sign up for public office. People will just say, no, law, we're not going to vote for you. Give people the right to decide. Don't say people will decide this before they actually decide. And you don't know that because you are preempting people. Basically, that means it's not a right. And that definitely means you are unfair because you are definitely making a decision of something we all don't know about, basically. This whole thing, honestly, guys, honestly highlighted the tension. It highlighted the tension between, the principles of justice. And I think it was very important to see how it is clothed in wolf skin. Let me just put it like that. And I think the right to political participation was something I did not really take into consideration, and just generally a democratic society is supposed to allow you to have that particular right for whatever political thing you want. So to be honest with you, Zuma's victory for me in the appeal honestly signifies the most amazing thing, which includes the triumph, for his political aspirations. And honestly makes me so happy about where he comes from and where he currently is. I'm 100% sure he did not think things were going to go the way they did, but they actually did, and it's just sad because I have so many questions about the boundaries, of the legal and electoral processes, not just in electoral, actually general boundaries of legal aspects, But anyway, the electoral processes that we have, are they really ensuring democratic governance or not? Because if people are said to be enabled to be a part of the IEC, if I cannot be in the ballot, does that then serve as democracy simply because someone else has already predestined my ability to partake in this particular table on the basis of what they know about me, which is basically exactly that. There's a lady that said, "Where's my video?" Can't be man that girl. Because a lady said, "You kept on saying to me I must send a picture. Where's my picture?" And they didn't have the picture. And she said, "There's no way. I was very patient with you." My point with her is she's an independent candidate. And to be honest with you guys, this was quite weird. We never really honestly heard a lot about those. And it's so beautiful to hear such and to understand. I may not understand in depth, but based on how she is talking, that first part was very interesting. But based on how she was talking, I got to understand the fact that South Africa is very versatile and it's changing for the best. It's changing for the most amazing ways that we all possibly never even thought it was going to change into. I am very proud to be a South African. I am very happy for Jacob Zuma. I am not condoning the bad things he has done. At the same time, who am I to know to what extent the bad and good he did? The only thing that I know, unfortunately, is what has been told to me and what other people have said about him. And unfortunately, we'll never know because he has never said anything about what actually happened. That is why he went to jail. I really hope we get to understand the importance of freedom, the importance of democracy, the importance of healthy governance, and the importance of political rights. It is important for you to understand you are such a valid South African. You are a valid South African that is allowed to make whatever choice you want, be it political, be it in the legal space. And I really honestly pray for you and for whatever space you are in, for God to help all of us to make sure we stand in a position that allows us to not just lead generally because that is what we want. We should not be foolish in our leadership. May we be moral. May we receive and understand the importance of being self-aware. Understanding the importance of serving other people, even at times where we too don't want to serve. May we never forget the importance of putting other people first. I pray that God may help us understand the importance of even having the democracy that we have, the democracy that we have fought for, the democracy that is currently here, and the governance and the leaders that continue to lead us. It won't change anything to consistently talk about it, but not find anything to do wherever you are, in whichever way that you would be able to do it. So I pray to God that He may make us stand firm in every single decision that we make. If it feels like people won't like it, but you believe it so much because God told you in your heart, I pray that He gives you the strength to do it. if you are in a position where you have people around you that could potentially jeopardize the future that you have because of things that you yourself can say to them, or the things that they themselves can say to you that can hinder where you are going, I pray that God may hinder that. I pray that He may stop it even before it gets into your ears, because that is not supposed to be part of what makes you make a decision. I pray that God may be the leader of your life, the guide of your life, the love of your life, the every single thing of your life, just as I have seen Him being an amazing person in my life. And I really honestly hope that in the exact same way that He showed up for Jacob Zuma, God will show up for you. Okay, so this is Shongingo Weni signing out. Bye!